Back then, it might have been far-fetched at the time to consider Amazon possibly being in cahoots with the CDC, the FDA, some of these pharmaceutical companies, and the government to come up with this elaborate plot to get people of his company or those employed at Amazon to get vaccinated. Think about that. To just even say those words coming out of my mouth sounds like a little nutty, right? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel where I'm always thinking conspiracy thoughts in my head. I just can't help it, but it's not really conspiracy thoughts, it's just... So what I'm going to be talking about today is theory on corporations behaving as government actors when trying to curtail the spread of the COVID-19 virus by forcing companies to implement and mandate, inoculation. So let's go ahead and watch this clip.
There's got to be something that the SEC can do there. I mean, they've cracked down before on like GoFundMe's. Like if I start a GoFundMe and I said, hey, I'm going to use it for X and I use it for Y, I know that that's highly illegal, right? But for GoFundMe to do it, I think that goes into the SEC territory.
Yeah, they should not be able to reappropriate funds, but I'm sure they have in their terms. I'm pretty sure they do. That if something happens and the project or whatever fundraiser is shut down, then they take the money. I'm pretty sure GoFundMe does say that. They shouldn't be allowed to do that, period, though. If I say, I want to give this money to a cause, they should not be allowed to reappropriate it. It should just go back, automatically refund.
Well, GoFundMe has been becoming increasingly political, and this move is just absolutely absurd. This is theft. This is people being robbed of their money that they wanted for a specific cause, and then they're going to be redistributing it for causes that they believe in, that they align with, which most likely probably is going to be Marxist, leftist ideas and organizations. Robert Barnes, a very prominent lawyer who was on this broadcast before, said that this is fraud and there's grounds for a class action lawsuit here. Since, of course, how can you say that this is not political, especially when GoFundMe has been used in so many different political ways, especially when people were punished and attacked whenever they go against the establishment on GoFundMe. There is more than enough evidence to show you that this is a hyper-partisan organization that is not there to raise funds for any charity. They are there for power. They are there for a political cause and nothing else, and they will stop anything stopping in their way, including good people who want to give their money.
So if you...
Okay, so with hearing all of that, hopefully you guys can see where I'm going to go with all of this. So this is what I deduced from all of that. I'm going to tell you why GoFundMe thought what they were doing or what they are doing is right. Ever since the talks of the vaccine came out, but at the height of the COVID spread back in 2020, the vaccines, before they were even produced, were targeted to be hyped up by political parties. And to be exact, we knew that this was coming from one side in particular, which were the Democrats. The Republicans at that time, didn't feel any way, shape, or form. I'm pretty sure they were gonna make this vaccine and have it available to the public. Democrats came in, or when they were running, I'm pretty sure everyone saw when Kamala Harris said that if this vaccine comes out under a Trump administration, they would not take it. They hyper-politicize this. Fast forward to now, we live in a society in which these people now have forced mandates on everyone to take things regardless of if it would rob them of their choice to take a vaccine based on their values. Just like he was saying, this past talking head, like what GoFundMe was doing was robbing people of their choice to basically donate to organizations that are based upon their values. You coddle that society to govern their feelings over what individuals want, what individuals want based off of their values, not just because of, oh, I want it, but based off of their values, and at least giving them that choice. When you do that, you literally make others who have that same ideology thrive. They saw that the government can do it. What makes you think a company couldn't do it? And that's exactly what they did. I'll just play what they had actually given to the press as to why they are doing this. So let's listen to that. I was shocked. And then I'll finish.
GoFundMe posted on Medium their statement on the Freedom Convoy. They say, GoFundMe supports peaceful protests, and we believe that was the intention of the Freedom Convoy fundraiser when it first started. We now have evidence from law enforcement that the previously peaceful demonstration has become an occupation, with police reports of violence and other unlawful activity. When was occupation?
Okay, so as you see here, we already know that they were in cahoots with somebody. So you can't even tell me now that GoFundMe isn't acting as a government actor. To sit here and call me a conspiracy nut, you literally have it from them. They are acting as government actors. Law enforcement is a government agency. It's a government department. That's not a private department. And matter of fact, it's public, right? It's for public safety. And in this instance, it's Canada. So now you literally have companies working as government actors, even though the news media, there are multiple news medias that are covering this story, and it does not, a lot of them do not depict that. They have shown where some have vandalized things, but you also see Canadians coming behind them and cleaning up that stuff, because they do not want those few individuals who want to tarnish the reputation of what the convoy protest is supposed to stand for. You're always going to have those types of individuals and groups because they don't want what's happening to continue. They don't want freedom. Summer of 2021, I definitely remember hearing Amazon trying to go about get people to take the vaccine, or encouraging people to take the vaccine, unlike any other company, whenever they became available. I thought that, for one, was a little interesting, to be one of the companies asking for it, but it didn't seem far-fetched. Well, back then it might have been far-fetched at the time to consider Amazon possibly being in cahoots with the CDC, the FDA, some of these pharmaceutical companies, and the government to come up with this elaborate plot to get people of his company or those employed at Amazon to get vaccinated. To think about that, to just even say those words coming out of my mouth sounds like a little nutty, right? Well, now with this, I don't think so. I do think that maybe some individuals inside of Amazon might have been a little bit concerned, given whatever data was coming out of the CDC or the WHO. God knows, I don't know. That would be the actual good case. The bad case would be how would those individuals at the company who wants to get people to get vaccinated because they want to make money, that's a little bit too far crazy, but I'm not gonna go down that road. Let's just talk about those who had no financial gains from this, who literally thought that what they were doing was be in the best interest of public health. You had some individuals in a company who wanted to get their employees vaccinated, but probably thought this would be really bad, doing this to someone, basically robbing them of their choice to take the vaccine based off of their values. So how can we do this based off of what we were seeing with the data that's coming out of COVID, which at the time we thought was legit? Like, if I'm going to just go down that conspiracy route, I can. That's not too crazy. So with giving that information from the CDC and then looking at the efficacy of these numbers coming from some of these drugs, it's not that to think that maybe government had a hand in making some of these companies, or I wouldn't say making, but making some of these companies be okay with mandating people to take a vaccine, because that is what the leaders of those companies believe. That was their values. They believe that, hey, I want to make sure everyone is safe, and based off of this information that we're getting from the FDA, the CDC, the WHO organizations, I think it's within everyone's best interest to take it. But I don't want to feel like I'm, could possibly be sued here. However, I need it done kind of quickly. And, I hear these vaccines are going to be available coming 2021. So how can I do this? Quick, get the government involved. You get the government involved, no one will have anything to say. All you can do is just blame it on the government. No one's going to want to sue you. No one's going to want to say that what you're doing is wrong. No. Put public health sticker on it. Bam, slap that there and you're good to go. It is very plausible to think that way now because of what GoFundMe has done. They believe that we live in a society where what they are doing is okay because our government said it was okay with the mandates, and that telling these companies your rights matter, your values matter over the individuals, your values. So I don't think it's right. And for those conspiracy theorists who over these past 2 years are considered idiots, dumb, and it's okay to have a little skepticism when it comes to some things that sound too good to be true. And it's not like they weren't telling you that there weren't good benefits. I do think that this vaccine has some good benefits, but like I was saying in the beginning, I think it's probably only going to be as good as an ibuprofen pill, which turns out, that's kind of what it is. It's just a way to make sure some of the symptoms that you get are less. But like I said, I don't see the government going around mandating people to take ibuprofen for everyday elements that they face in life. I don't. And therefore, I don't see them having any particular legality in wanting me to take this vaccine because it might lessen my symptoms, regardless if it is highly transmissible. But when you look at the death rates, it's one thing to make me take this vaccine if it had a proven efficacy of 100%, like most vaccines, like every vaccine back in the day had. Unlike things that are treatments, just saying. If it's not 100%, if it doesn't have a 100% efficacy, there is no need for me to take it. And I do not think it is the role of the government to say that it is. So, like I said, they knew they didn't have this right. And that's the reason why they used the mandate instead of the law. But plus, this would have been a very, 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 very slippery slope for the government to basically want anytime there's a crisis, they can literally demand that anyone take this vaccine or whatever treatment that they prescribe, all in the name of public health. Like I said, with smallpox, that vaccine did its job. You cannot claim the same for COVID-19. Nowhere near. Now think about that. And now think about the future and how a lot of people will use this. And there are some creative motherfuckers. You really want to control population? That's all I gotta say.